Welcome to Survival Stories with Steph. As a survivor, I'm looking for fellow survivors and thrivers and the common threads between them. Today, I have a very special guest, Melissa Sophia with The Avenue. Welcome to the show, Mel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited to have you. I've been waiting for this episode for a long time. I have no idea where it's going to go, but we're such good friends. I figure we'll figure it out, right?
Yeah. You never know where the convo is going to go with the two of us. So.
Well, let's start off kind of how you got into real estate, because that's how I know you. How'd you get into real estate and all that good stuff?
Yes. So this is a family business for me. I like to say I joined real estate when I was 7. I was rollerblading flyers to homes. I mean, my mom had me scripted. And I used to help with open houses. I knew exactly what to say if one of my friends was moving. So this is a business. And, just like any Asian family, we are built on survival. Mm-hmm. When my parents came here from the Philippines, it wasn't just about me.
Yeah.
It was their dream for me. It was what they left behind, where they were from. They left behind their native language, their family, their friends. Literally the first people in our entire family to come to America. And so, when you come to another country, it's not like my mom just had a job.
No.
It was like we all had a business, and it was all on all of us to help make it work and to just try to build something together, because it was for the future, for legacy, for survival, truly. And I have understood what escrow meant since I would say solid 8, 9, 10 years old.
Gosh.
I've been searching the MLS since I was 9 years old on dial-up.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
I was probably the first mobile app that my mom could use, because she used to call me at home. And she'd be like, jump on the MLS and search for properties. So I literally was like, YB equals 1987 plus 92129. So I was searching for properties, and then she would be able to take her clients to those homes that she called and asked me about.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
I have been in it for a long time. But I will say, I said I would never be in real estate.
You did?
I was like, I'm not going to do that crazy job. You're knocking on people's doors and asking them to spend money. I'm not doing that. I had a whole different path set out for myself. And, my mom said, well, I just want you to get your license. Just learn. She was like, it's a really important part of the American dream to be able to buy a home. And she's like, I want you to know everything there is to know about buying a home. Even if you never use it, just have it in your back pocket, and then you can do whatever you want. Got my license. I know. Fast forward. I was in college, and I was working on real estate on the side. I was working for her, and she actually had me going to Mike Ferry conferences.
Oh my gosh, Mike Ferry! Wow.
Sitting in on her coaching calls. She had me studying NLP at 16. Just so that I can have a better understanding of how to communicate with people, how to, understand finances. And she had me learning these things at a really young age. So when I entered college and I had my license, I just was doing it on the side, just as a buyer's agent.
Gig. Everybody else was just figuring their stuff out in college, and you got 2 hustles going.
Yeah. I still to this day have clients who I helped buy homes when I was 18.
That's amazing.
And I straight looked at them in the face this year, and I was like, why did you let me sell you a home when I was a child?
Yeah, exactly.
And they were like, you were actually good. I was like, you're kidding me.
That's so cute.
Thank goodness. But turns out I loved it. I just loved the whole process of helping people solve really complex things. And I think when you are immersed in an industry the way that I had been, you have a deeper understanding and a love for it. I was able to help just talk people through our neighborhood, being born and raised in San Diego.
Right. It. And that's what your Instagram page, Mel knows, because everywhere to go, everything to do.
I'm so embarrassed about my Instagram.
Check out her Instagram if you're wondering.
Day. So in, what was that, 2011 when I started? I was like, what am I going to put as my Instagram handle? And my friends were like, you are a know-it-all. For real. They were like, you're a know-it-all. Mel knows. It was like something that they said all the time.
love it. I love it to this
like,
day.
what restaurant do you want to go to? Like, what place should we order this from? And they were like, Mel knows. Like, ask Mel. And so that's my handle.
I love it.
To
Don't
this
ever
day.
change it.
Well, I'm not allowed to change it anymore because now it's like
It's a thing.
it's a brand.
Which you've done a good job of building over these years.
I really never considered it to be a brand, but it's, just a reflection of the sparkle and insanity and like impossible nature and the fun and everything that it is me. And so, I guess that's just who I am.
Can see it
Yeah.
everywhere. And people are attracted to it,
Thank you.
And I'm actually fourth generation real estate as well. And my daughter's here today and she was like, I'm never going into it. But, you can't kind of help it.
So
But
she's in this room right
she's
now,
in
so I
it.
don't know.
So you do. But what's fun about that relationship when you do have multiple generations, and I could see when you were sharing about your mom, you brought the tech side. You kind of got to introduce those things. And then she brought, my gosh, she sounds like an incredible woman to have the bravery to come here with no job. And then to fall into real estate too, that's pretty cool. That's where she ended up. That's amazing. Because where do you even start, right? When you come over and you're just starting over, I'd be like, what do I do? I don't know where to go.
Well, her background was in accounting. And then she was like cutting checks. She got her first job at Coldwell Banker in downtown San Diego. And she was cutting checks, these huge commission checks. And she asked her boss, she's like, okay, so like, what is this company? Like, what do we do?
That's so
And they're
cool.
like, these are real estate agents. You're cutting their commission checks. And she's like, how do I get checks like that? And they're like, well, you have to get your real estate license. And she literally turned around and did it. So in 1987, she became licensed. And we actually quickly, right around 1987, we moved up to Rancho Penasquitos. So she not only started in real estate with an accent, with not in her native country, not in her native language.
Yeah.
And then she moved to a predominantly white neighborhood and then decided to like start
butt.
a business.
I love it.
But it was not easy, I'll tell you. Of
course not.
I watched firsthand how she suffered through some pretty severe racism.
Yep.
Like her signs would get broken with baseball bats. Yeah. We'd have like toilets flushing on our answering machine. Like I remember these things.
What? That's horrible.
Yes,
that makes me want to cry.
I know. People would be like saying terrible slurs like on our answering machine.
They don't have anything better to do than call somebody up on an answering machine and just say that. That to me is mind blowing.
I know.
I am so sorry.
My mom used to look at me with tears in her eyes and like literally hold her tongue, and she'd be like, someday, she was like, you will do so much better than me because you don't have this tongue. And it was just, she was like, you don't have an accent, and
that's
you're so
heartbreaking.
lucky. I know.
Is that why you're so passionate and involved in over the years in like ARIA and different organizations to help just basically try to eliminate that in this industry so people don't have to deal with it? But I see you're very, very passionate in those areas.
Thank
and that's
you.
cool. Who better to do it then? You know what I mean? Somebody who's lived it, that makes so much sense.
Exactly. I mean, not only did I see what it took for my family to all get here and how they had to work just 5 times harder just to survive. And then my mom actually looked at me and she said, one day when you can, just help people like us. And she was like, that's all I ask of you. She's like, whatever you decide to do in life, just help people like us. Just make it not as hard for them as us. And so now everything I do, I see through this lens of who were we and who, what did we go through and how can I carry that load with other people who are facing the same struggles? And so many people don't even know it. They don't even. People look through the lens of their hardship and they say, I just can't afford it. Or I just don't know who to trust.
Oh, wow.
Or I don't understand, so I think I'll just sit and work hard and someday I'll figure it out. And so it's those people that I'm trying to help find and create solutions for, often that don't even know what their barrier is. So I'm so fortunate to have the background to see like, okay, this is where the problems stem from. We could go down like a whole rabbit hole of the cultural differences, that separate the people's understanding of building generational wealth. Like, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but when you are an immigrant, you're coming from another country, you are coming with the cultural understanding from that country that you were born from, right? And in many other countries, you have to hide your money.
Wow.
You have to not say exactly what your business is. You hide the facts. You don't expose to your government where all of your money is or what. And then you come to America and they're like, give me all of your account numbers. Give me all of your cash. Where does it all come from? Document it. And they're like, am I supposed to do this? Like, is this?
Oh, I can't imagine.
You know what I mean? And then they're being asked to fill out forms that are not in their native language. Like, what am I signing? What am I agreeing to?
Oh my gosh.
You know, so it's things like breaking language barriers, helping create more education around home ownership, helping build these pathways that make it easier for people to feel comfortable so that they can build their own American dream here. Like, that is the basis upon which, like, I have this really unique opportunity because I can connect the dots. I can see where we came from, and I was really fortunate to be given this, you know, beautiful life here. And so I understand both sides. It's a very unique position to be in. So I feel like if I don't take that knowledge and that information and do something with it, change laws, make regulations easier, be a voice, what am I really doing?
What's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's so cool. I mean, I think let's touch on that for a minute, because what I've seen in your life, even in the last couple years, is a little bit of a shift, even where you've always been like purposeful, but I'm seeing you are doing even more speaking engagements. You're getting involved politically. You're just like, you're doing all the things, and I love it. I wanted to talk about one of the events that I went to with you, because you focus on. One thing I love about you, on women's events especially, you have a really great way of opening women up to in a room, because I think women look at you and they think, oh my gosh, she is so confident. Like, you literally walk around in sequins half the time. Like, you just rock it.
Whatever makes me happy.
Whatever makes you happy. But to do that, you have a lot of confidence. And then when someone like you opens up, it really breaks down those walls for others. So we were talking a little bit before we started this about that event, and it was a sound bath thing. And we're just like, both of us are like, the sound bath is going, and then all of a sudden we're both like crying. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can pretty much like hear like us. And and I think you tell me about how you felt in that moment. But for me, I think that what happens in those moments is we're so go that when you stop and you sit and you're alone with your thoughts and your feelings, all of a sudden it just kind of, it creates that space for those feelings. Yes. And so it's kind of overwhelming at times, but it's a good thing, right?
So true. Well, especially when you're on all the time.
Yes.
And you're just like on autopilot. You're just moving, trying to accomplish your to-do list. And as moms,
my gosh,
we carry such a larger mental load than people even realize, you know, and oftentimes it's self-imposed.
Totally. Overachievers.
Right. And we're just trying to solve the world's problems and carry them alone. So yes, in the past couple of years, and when we experience that together, I think, here's the thing. We all constantly go through breakdowns.
Yeah.
Right? We all constantly go through burnout stages. And this whole industry, our whole world, like, seeks to harden us.
Yeah.
So when when we go through those hard moments, it's all about like sitting with yourself, quieting your mind, and then really trying to see like, what am I supposed to move through right now?
Right.
What lesson am I supposed to learn? And at that time, I was really learning like stillness and clarity.
Yes.
I had a really hard time just sitting with myself and not trying to serve someone or like be something, like organize something, like clean something up. And so it was like, when we actually had a moment to be like, what do I need? Like, me?
Like, what? I don't know what that is.
Like, as moms, we get used to being like, when do you have to go to the bathroom?
Right.
When do you have to eat? Where do you need to be? And we're just trying to like scramble to survive that. But it's not about like just surviving something. It's about being able to reinvent yourself throughout every single struggle and every single breakdown, and learning that that's okay. Like
Totally.
moving from one season to another doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It's evolving, but growth, growth hurts.
Wow, I love that.
Right? Like, growth is
Painful. Yeah.
So I think when you start to not just accept it or survive it, but appreciate like what you're moving through and go, man, I'm so lucky that I went through that, because look who I've become in that process.
Yes.
There's a whole shift that changes when you go from survival to appreciation for your hardships.
Wow.
It's just mind-blowing. And I think that's what I was realizing through that time. I was like, how do I be here for me also?
I can so relate to that. Like with my crazy health issue, I've been hit with this. It's out of left field, and it's something that's not going to go away.
And
but
no one would ever know, because the way that you carry yourself, you constantly bring joy to other people. You always have a happy face on, and we would never know that you're going through so much. So how was it for you through that process? And like,
when it was really hard. I think that there's so many waves in it, right? Because with my health thing, it's like it took a while to figure out kind of what it is. So, you got a brain injury, and then now it's this Ehlers-Danlos connective tissue thing. And I think when I finally started being okay with it and happy is when it happened. Like you're saying, you start thanking God for the situation, because you are, and seeing what you can learn from it. I felt like I got stripped down, like completely. Yeah. I forgot like the foods I liked when I was younger. I forgot like everything. So instead of being like, oh my gosh, my brain doesn't work and I can't remember, I'm like, try broccoli again. You might love it, and be outside. You might love it. So I just threw everything out the window, and I'm having the best time with that. The only thing that's annoying is my body doesn't let me do all the things I want. But whenever I get to do it, I have so much more joy in it. Yeah. And it created so much more empathy for other people. And I've always had a really beautiful gift where people will share things with me when I'm with them. But now it's been a way on another level. Like, and every single like realtor in our community, I swear they're all going through the same stuff.
Oh,
like anybody you see on TV, Instagram, whatever, those producers that you think are, have it all together, they have the same problems. They have the same issues. But what I do notice about the thrivers, it's a way that they handle their problems. It's not the problem, it's the way they handle it. And so you kind of have a formula for it, right? Now, at this point in your life, like you're saying, when something hard hits, sit with it, be easy on yourself, and ask, what can I learn from this? Or what can I throw out that I thought was like set in stone in my life? That's not true,
Exactly. And like, I look at what you've gone through, and I was kind of thinking, how fun, like, since when's the last time you got to be like, ooh, I don't know if I like this food.
I know.
Is it amazing? Like those joys when you're a kid, like discovering new things that you love, and you get to re-experience that as an adult. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool.
I love it.
But so many people would be so upset. Yeah. Like, I can't access this thing that I used to be able to access with ease. But you turned it around and said like, oh, how cool. I get to re-experience my life with fresh set of eyes. Like, that's a really cool thing.
Thank you. It's freeing, because when you are an overachiever, and we've all had things in our life. I mean, we have businesses and all these things, and when you can't operate at the level you did in the way that you did, you're just going to beat yourself up nonstop. So when I threw everything out, it's like, okay, let's do a podcast now and talk to realtors, but let's talk about stuff that has more of a thread that most people can relate to, and that's the whole point of this. And so I'm having so much more fun doing a podcast on this than talking about listings. So it's just been the best joy, all of it.
Oh, and that's really helping people. Like, not only did you stop moving in autopilot, you're like, okay, let's just be real. Let's just ask people what they're going through. Everyone's going through something, and you get to now create. And like, what a cool process that is.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
You're so encouraging, and you are all through the process, you were somebody, especially early on, that I trusted. So I came to you kind of at very pivotal times when I was making decisions and things were going on. And you just were there for me, and you had no judgment and just so understanding. And like what I love about you is you're a friend, like we can just pick up right where we left off anytime. Like it's 100%. And you are so like understanding if I can't be around or whatever's going on. It's just a really great relationship, and I appreciate you, and I want you to know that, like from the bottom of my heart. Like it means a lot. Yeah, no, for real. Like I don't often get the opportunity to go back and tell people how much it meant to me during the hard time, and that really, really did. So, and I told my husband all about you every single time.
I just love what you were saying about, gaining clarity, because like that's the whole game, right? Like if we sit in this chaos and go through an autopilot, we don't have the opportunity to get super clear on like what is it that we're meant to do here. And like the industry, the world will continue to try to harden us. And it's like finding that clarity and continuing to like choose yourself and your values. And that's what you did. Like, not only did you turn around and be like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to focus on who was I and how can I help other people through that process. Yes. That's where abundance actually comes from. Yeah. It's like clarity, so right. Choosing yourself, trusting yourself, and like, because when you do that, you give people the opportunity to be who they are. And then that's when your whole world opens up. Yes. Because I think so many people sit in this like fake.
So fake. And that's what was killing me. Like trying to pretend like nothing's wrong when I'm having a palsy or a jaw's popping up out and I got to get on stage. I was like, okay, now it's like if people know me and love me, then they're going to understand if something pops out. But I think we all, a lot of times when I've had people on, I love it. I've had some guys on and they will talk about their insecurities when they go through a health issue or something. And you'd be so surprised, but everybody feels that way when you're not yourself. And I just want everyone to know, like, it's so normal. Yeah. And I think, like, let's just normalize not feeling good and it's okay. And, like, loving on people when you see them like that. The thing that I do notice that breaks my heart the most is when I see somebody who's struggling and people are just like, it's almost going to pick them off or make it harder for them. And that's just not, necessary. It's like, let's just support one another and reach out.
See, and I think that's the thing is like so many people choose their path based on like fear or like a past pain. Like they choose what they decide to do based on a pain that they've gone through or fear of pain, right? But when we make choices out of fear or like trauma, we're not making choices that are aligned with our like true values. It's when we make choices that align with our values despite the
pain,
like feeling scared, like that's when you really like have those breakthroughs, and that's the whole key. So this whole industry, unfortunately, often operates out of fear, and like it makes people change their processes. It makes people change the way that they do business. It changes who they hire. Like, I mean, I've gone through a lot of pain.
I was going to say, let's talk about that.
As a team leader, for sure. I mean, being a team leader is not the faint of heart, for sure.
You're not like born. A leader's just a title in the beginning. You have to learn, and you make mistakes, and people don't tell you that.
Well, not only that, but like you make the most amount of money as an agent, as a producing agent.
Oh, right.
You don't make a ton of money off of the small, tiny split. That not enough to cover all of your overhead, to cover all of the marketing expenses, not to cover your time, not to cover splits to a parent program. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right.
So you have to do it for the love of like wanting to help people. And then through that process, you'll find people that work for you who deserve that time and that effort. And then you'll find people who use you.
Yes.
And so I feel like a lot of team leaders through that process and the pain of going through that, like it always starts with I want to help with people. Yeah. And then it moves to how do I make this like super profitable for me? Because if I'm going to go through this pain, it better make me a lot of money. But unfortunately, that process often is at the expense of agents' like growth or personal growth or profitability for their own business, and it a lot of times like reduces the amount of training or like fulfilling an agent's needs.
Yeah.
So I can't even tell you how many times I've been like, should I just change?
Just throw it out the door.
Yeah, should I just change the way that I'm doing it? Should I, change my structure?
Yeah.
But I had to continually say, like, no, like, this is what I want. I want to teach agents to be the best they possibly can be. This is what I want. This is when someone moves through my brokerage, this is who I want them to become in the industry. I want them to become a light. If I'm going to create like this type of brokerage, these types of agents, then my value set has to be here and not here.
Yes.
If it's about only the money, your agents are never going to win, and they're never going to become who they need to become. They're never going to learn what they need to learn to have the best business for themselves. So, I mean, for me, I'm just like asking all of our team leaders out there to remember, like, what kind of industry are we building?
Wow.
A lot of people focus on like exit strategy for their own career.
That's what I've been hearing a lot about that lately, because we are kind of going through a little shift where a lot of real estate agents are going to be retiring.
Oh, girl, I'm looking around in my industry and I'm like, who's been around with me? And I'm like, oh my God, everyone who's around is like started in 2015. I'm like, what?
I know. It's so funny when I'm talking to my
great-grandma.
friends. I'm like, I've been doing this over like 25 years. You start looking around. It's like, how did this happen? We blinked and we've been doing it a long time.
I could probably like name people on my two hands that started in the career
They're still in
when
it.
I was here.
Yep.
When I started, that are still here.
Yeah.
There's not a lot.
No.
And so a lot of people talk exit strategy, but for me, it's not exit strategy on dollars. It's legacy.
Oh, wow.
Like, what am I leaving behind? Who is going to take over this industry when I am long gone? And how are they going to teach people later? Because it all leads back to, how am I going to help people who were like me?
Right.
Are the consumers going to be able to trust our industry? Are they going to turn around and look at our industry like somebody's trying to take advantage of me? They're lying. They just want a commission check. Like, I want to change
happens. I mean, the bar's pretty low to get into real estate. You know what I mean? The entry level. Yes. Anybody can go and get a license.
Right.
So it can be a little scary. Be careful who you hire.
Yes. And a lot of people don't even know what they don't know.
They don't know. They don't know what to ask. I mean, we know because we've been in it so long. You just did a video. I think I saw it. Was it yesterday? I actually really liked it.
How I know your listing agent sucks?
Yes.
Immediately?
Honestly, I love that video because it was
Nobody
talks about that stuff. And I was like, yeah. I mean, and you're not dissing. Kind of are dissing, but we're just dissing. Because honestly, it affects you when the listing agent sucks. When you're writing an offer on a listing and they aren't able to, I hear horror stories of not getting calls back.
So many people in my comments are actually mortgage lenders or escrow, because you guys suffer. You do all of this work and then a deal falls apart because one of the agents sucks.
Yeah.
And they're creating chaos in it. They don't know their stuff.
No.
Like, they're just trying to fight. And that's the thing, is like, you don't learn it until you've been through that so many times, like how to prevent it. And so I just thought I'd call out, like, this is how I know immediately.
I loved it.
I could pull up an MLS listing and be like, this is going to be a hard transaction.
But what's great about you, I mean, we've all taken the DISC tests and use those in trainings and stuff. But I feel like once you've been doing this so long, you kind of become a psychologist, where it's like you can see, you kind of know that person, right? And then you sort of learn how
learn behavior patterns.
how to communicate with them, because it's so important. Some people just want to argue, and just create friction. I'm like, what's the end goal here? How is this getting us closer to our closing?
Thank you. So many people want to be right.
Right.
And I want to put my client's goal of owning that property over my need to be right.
Wow.
Like, why?
It's not your house. Some agents treat it like they're the one buying the house. I just support that.
A lot of people, and not just in real estate, but in life in general, people, it's like we're moving in life, we're expecting people to be like, oh, you're so right, I was wrong. And
that never happens. I'm trying to think of when I've ever heard that in my entire life.
In this business? It doesn't.
Yeah.
So like the best you can get is like, fine, we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
My client doesn't want to know, but.
Right? But, and so you just changing your expectations to be like, it's not about me. What does my client need? Well, they need to get this deal closed, and that's the number one thing. So whatever it takes to get that done, and then you have to align it with your value set too. It's like, who am I becoming through this process? You're either becoming closer to the person that you want to be, or you're moving further away.
That's so
with
good.
every single decision that you're making, with everything that comes out of your mouth. And I believe that this universe is constantly asking you to prove, oh, you want this?
Yes.
Oh, you want this? Well,
Test.
you have
It's
to
a
be
test.
this kind of person
Yeah.
to achieve that. Oh, let's send you this struggle and see, oh, no, you're this person. That's
Yeah.
how you reacted, so you don't get this. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just...
Well, I love that. And I've been looking at things, it's like sometimes I look at it that way too, or I'll go like where I'm going, I have to go through this right now because it's training me to be able to get that blessing at the end.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because like
Exactly.
so you're not ready. So if somebody dropped, sometimes in your life, like in all honesty, if we all really looked at ourselves, somebody dropping a pile of money in our lap or whatever the thing is that we think that we need that's going to make us happy, oftentimes it won't. And I find that so many people, I feel like we're like born with holes in our hearts and we just like constantly try and fill it with whatever we can to feel okay. And you just, that it's not healthy. So
Right.
so like you said, really like asking, wait, who do I want to become? What am I wanting to accomplish? It's different. It's a different question
Oh, it's
than
so
why
true.
is this happening to me? I
Yeah.
think so many people go, why is this happening to me? Poor me. And yeah, I mean, of course, I've done that over the years and people do that, but eventually you got to get out of that victim mentality.
100%.
You know, or you'll stay stuck. And that I don't want that for people. That's kind of what this show is about. Like I'm looking for people that have been through hard things or, struggle in business or emotionally or physically, whatever it is. And they're thriving and they're also helping people. And so like someone like you, I see you do it every single like day. Your brokerage, when you just said something, you're like, what kind of agents am I trying to create? I just want to say your agents are so great. They're so fun. And I feel like you really develop like leaders in the industry. They're all like able to get out. I mean, it's just, you can see the culture. It starts at the top and it trickles down. Cause I think you just hire people you like maybe. You're like, oh, that person's like cool.
I definitely don't hire based on like numbers.
I was going to say, I don't think it's always numbers, right?
Because you can teach real estate.
Yeah.
But I can't teach heart. I can't teach internal drive to succeed. I can't teach someone who has integrity. Like I can't teach someone
can't teach them to be
integrity.
a good person.
I can't. But what I can teach is how to educate people, how to build trust, like how to sell a home. That's easy. That's paperwork,
Yeah.
But what I'm totally one of those people who's like, you spend too much time with me, you're going to end up like,
Taking over the world?
yeah.
You do that. You
So-
there's so many times I'm like, I cannot do this. And then I'll be like, talking to you and I'm like, well, she'll say, get out there and do it. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm kind of going through. And I think that's your gift is
thank
encouragement.
you.
I want to have you speak again soon because I watch you when you get up on stage, like every single girl is in like tears or saying I can relate to that. Like keep doing your speaking and things like I know that takes time and I know that those kind of things don't always make you money, right? And
Oh, they
the
make
fact
me
they make you no money,
$0.
right? I think people don't realize a lot of the stuff that she does is it doesn't make money for her. It's just
Like,
giving back.
all of those things are all volunteer positions. Like
Yeah.
working for the city of San Diego on a real estate seat on the Historical Resources Board. That doesn't make money.
No.
Like California Association of Realtors, director at large, like that doesn't make money. Like
I didn't know
Aria-
you're a director at large. You're always doing something new.
Yes, like next week we're actually going to go change laws and California state regulations for real estate. So, working as the ARIA National Policy Chair for the Asian Real Estate Association, all of these are volunteer positions. But the thing is like, if I know what the problems are and what people need to solve this whole housing puzzle, who am I if I'm not actually bringing that information to the people who are seeking it out and trying to help solve these problems.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me. So I can find the time to do those things, and it's important. It's bigger than me.
Aww.
So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like I wish people could see themselves through the lens that I can see other people.
Yeah, I love that about you.
It's just so many times, you said it, I don't think we're born with holes in our heart, but I think that we are given like root traumas and like root issues that affect us and like change the way that we think about things for our whole lives. But it's really like sitting with ourselves and saying like, why do I feel this way? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
And like, how am I making my decisions based on, am I doing it based on this? Like this bad thing that happened to me. Sometimes it's not even something bad that happened to me. Sometimes it's something bad that happened to my parents. Like watching people try to make decisions on buying a home or selling a home whose parents went through the 2008 recession and lost everything. A lot of people will say, housing is not affordable. The interest rates are too high. I just can't afford it. But when you really ask enough questions, it's like, oh, well, my mom told me don't pull this money out of my 401k and put it into real estate because what happens if the market crashes? Why? Because that's what happened to them. So then it's like, you have to talk them through. Why are we not going to have a 2008 recession again? So it's really just being super open and like getting to the bottom of what is making things hard for people, whether that's an agent or whether that's a consumer, and really being real and not just trying to like spit out a script or like convince somebody.
So scripted.
Yeah.
Well, just because you can sell something to somebody and you're a good salesperson doesn't mean you should. And I think sometimes people are really good at sales. I have to catch myself sometimes, like not in escrow, but like whatever it is. Like I want to go do something and I'm trying to sell it to my family of why I should go. And I'm like, dang, I made that sound like a good argument and we technically kind of should all go. But then I'm like, no, we shouldn't actually do this. What was I thinking?
So
Stop being a good salesperson.
You're like,
to your family.
Oh, that's so funny. You're like, I'm influencing.
I'm influencing my day in the wrong way.
You just got to be sure that it's the right thing to do.
Use your powers for good.
Yeah. Always use your powers for good. See, exactly. But it's making those choices, like knowing why. But I think people move through life on autopilot so much, and they don't like think about like why what are the reasons why I'm doing this, and then they lack clarity, create more chaos. So it's just about really understanding like, who am I, what are the goals of this that I'm trying to accomplish, and then helping people understand. For me, I'm never trying to sell somebody a house.
No.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is it that they're trying to do and what's the best way to get there. I just give my clients data and then they can make the choices. Like every single transaction, every single decision, here's the data, here's what could happen, A, B, C, D. What do you want?
I love that about you. And you are extremely knowledgeable. I will say that.
Thank you.
That's where, I mean, honestly, in negotiations and things like that, you need to have an agent who knows like all the like loopholes and ways to protect you and things like that. So
you got to be a contract ninja.
Yeah,
I
feel like realtors should be attorney. Like it's basically like an attorney. All the everything that you do, the paperwork, and just oh my gosh, there's so much.
Committing our clients to contractual obligations.
Yeah,
we better know the contracts like an attorney.
Yeah,
like that's something that I require. When I first started my brokerage, I used to require all of my agents do the first 5 transactions without a transaction coordinator.
That's so good.
Because I wanted them to know every single line of a contract. How are you going to ask clients to sign something you don't even know what it means?
Wow.
No.
And that happens so often, you know? It's like, wow. You need to, I mean, because I get a lot of questions, like being on the escrow side. I have realtors
can't even
ask
imagine.
questions sometimes, and I'm pretty amazed.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I've been really blessed. A lot of the people I work with are, I mean, they're incredible. So they're pretty knowledgeable.
You're a good judge of character too.
Thank you.
And so you're bringing in like good people in. But I think it's so important to know every single line of a transaction, like what are the ways around it? Like what are the ways to write things properly?
Yeah.
And, the mistakes that you cannot make. Like these are the things that can blow up a transaction.
Completely.
You see it all the time, or make clients really upset with you when things don't work out.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
You have to protect against so many possibilities, and it's our job to know what all of those possibilities are and like prevent them from happening 5 steps ahead of the game. So I will be writing contracts as if like something terrible could happen later down the line, and then I protect against it way far out in advance.
Wow.
So I mean, there's so much, like negotiation's a whole thing. Being a contract ninja is a whole thing.
A contract ninja. Well, you have a really great team. Oh, you have a really tight relationship with your lender, who's a friend of ours. Shout out to Sam May. He's really awesome, and I feel like sometimes when you have, I mean, I know you probably have to work with a lot of lenders, but I'm familiar with him, and I see him, like someone like him is very knowledgeable, and so they are very involved in the transaction and very involved with your clients. So you two probably, like we do in escrow, like we work together, to all move that train towards the station.
Exactly.
I
mean, here's the thing. It's not just, I don't work with Sam because of any of those things that you said. The reason why I work with Sam is because his number one focus is solve the client's problems for them, like even when they don't know what their problems could be. And he is just as impossible as I am.
He is. He's great. He's a really good
He's
guy.
like, well, no, we can find a way.
Yeah, he fights.
Like, I truly believe if you have a good buyer and a good seller, you can get through any issue, right? And Sam is the same way. We will solve problems.
Yes.
And, I love problem solvers. Complainers and excuse makers, they're not for me. People who solve issues and who think ahead and can, solve issues before they even become a thing. You
don't want the hassle. Like my thing is I actually, if a problem comes up, I look at it as an opportunity to kind of show my realtor how I'll help them. And so I know, because when I was a realtor, you want to, if you're calling me by that point, like you want help. You don't want to deal with a lot of like explanation. It's like, just jump in and fix. And so I've learned to just be like, I got it. If I don't got it, I'll call you, but I'm going to try. I got this. Unless you hear from me, it's taken care of. And because I think that's it. What's hard when you're in a transaction, you're constantly having to remind people or check up on what's come in and not come out. As a realtor, it gets difficult. So you really need a strong team when you're to make it happen.
Well, and I think the whole thing is people get all burnt out and they're like, I can't do this anymore in this real estate industry. But it's usually not a problem, like a personality flaw or like something you did wrong. People often like blame themselves. It's either the market conditions, or it's like something is wrong with them. But it's usually just a process problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's usually like, okay, like where was the ball dropped? How can I plug that hole? And so that's not a problem anymore. And if you just create enough processes, it can stop you from spinning your wheels and allow you to actually be creative, because it's like when you drop into problems, then you get emotional, you lose your ability to think and strategize and be creative and negotiate. So it's super important to protect your business by creating smart processes that prevent you from landing in it. Yeah.
When you're in it, you can't solve it.
Exactly.
It's like those emotions take over. Whenever that starts to happen with me, I take a step back. I'm like, I will come back to this when I am not emotional, because I find that my brain doesn't work as well.
You actually lose 50% of your ability to think when you are emotional.
That makes so much sense to me. Yeah. And it's really like with a brain injury in the beginning, I had such PTSD and things. So I wasn't used to having those heightened emotions and reactions. I'm pretty chill, So experiencing that, I think it was really good, because now I can, like, I see people have anxiety attacks, or I see stuff start to come on, and I'm like, oh, sweetheart, like, I so get you, like, it's okay,
You're like, I can give you a hug.
I'll give you a hug.
Let's have a breakdown
it's
moment.
Be all right. Yeah, we'll give you a hug and then get you back out there, because I mean, it's all about who you surround yourself. The common thread between people like you and the other people I bring on this show, they always have systems. They have people around them that are the right right people and the right seats and the right bus. And when they're not, they're smart enough, or they've been through enough seasons in life that they get that person, they get a new person in that's the right person, and you can take that emotion out of it, because sometimes it's just moving a person on a bus rather than having them not be a part of the whole thing. But I see a lot of, at least for me, sometimes having a team, it's like I have this great person, but I don't know that they're in the right role,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And so you have to kind of figure out all those moving parts.
It's so true. And what you're talking about is boundaries.
Wow.
And boundaries, having boundaries and developing boundaries is so important, because that's what helps you like move through chaos and understand like, okay, how do I keep myself from burning out because I gave too much to this person? Like, we can't all decide who everyone is in our life, right?
That's
like,
true. You see people like that. They just have walls and boundaries everywhere. I'm like, you just basically walk around in a cage because no one can talk to you.
Oh my gosh. But it's like, the thing is like, when you want to surround yourself by people who you want to be more like, right? So I like want to surround myself by people who bring out the best in me. And there's always going to be people who aren't quite like my cup of tea, or who I need to work with. But I just have to like build like, okay, like this is how much energy like I'm going to spend. And then when I need time to rebuild so that I can be around other people that don't fill my cup, then I have it.
Yes.
You know? So it's just like really a lot of self-awareness. I mean, really?
And it's so hard to be like self-aware. A lot of times, you know, I always say like, I can equate it to relationships. Like my grandma used to always give me this advice. She was like, you know, you can change the pants in the room, but it'll still be the same skirt. So, you know, she's from the South, so she'd say it all Southern. And that like hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, no matter what relationship I'm in, I need to always like, am I, are there things I'm doing? Is there a problem? Is there something it can change? Because just sometimes shifting if you don't shift yourself, it won't ever make a difference if you just swap a bunch of other people out.
That's so true, because I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. Everyone else is the problem, clearly, not me.
Oh, my gosh. That's like such a thing.
Right?
I feel like, especially in our industry, we have people who are always trying to change like the external circumstances.
Right.
And they're trying to always like look for happiness, right? If I'm at this brokerage, then I'll be happy. If I have this split, then I'll be happy. If I work with this kind of buyer, then I'll be happy. But in reality, it's like there's something here we need to change inside, you know? And honestly, more often than not, it's when people are not being true to themselves.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing. If you find yourself exhausted, there's nothing more exhausting than being someone that you're not.
Wow.
Like when
you're
you're
faking it.
Yeah. When you're not being true to yourself, when you're making decisions not based on what you really believe, or when you are doing things like for a commission check or for money instead of what you think is really right, like you will feel exhausted and you will feel like breaking down.
Totally.
So I think like just learning who you are, what you believe, and then learning how to make decisions through that lens will keep you from burning out and breaking down.
I love it.
We have to be able to allow ourselves to reinvent through every single era. Like the market changes so fast, new era.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
yeah.
like our circumstances change. I mean, things happen around us all the time, but when we know who we are, we know how we make decisions, and we stay clear on that, like clarity will get you through anything.
Oh, I love that. And that's probably why I reached out to you when things were like, I could just like go have whatever we were eating that day because we're such food buddies.
Oh my gosh. Well, because your first thing that you want to do is to run.
Yeah. Shut down,
fight or
run.
flight.
Yeah, it's fight or flight. You're
and you're
so
like, I
right.
can't fight, so I'm just gonna leave.
Fight, yeah.
I feel like that's why we have so many people leave the real estate industry so much.
And a lot in the last couple years, I see them jumping ship from brokerages because they're like, it's got to be the brokerage.
Oh, I have so much to say on that.
I keep seeing that, and but then honestly, the grass is not always greener.
Yeah.
Like for sure, I do see that. Like when there's a shift in the market, people all of a sudden, kind of do that. So
well, it's really interesting because, like, number one, I feel like agents don't do enough homework getting into the business and knowing like what types of teams do exist.
Right.
Do I want to be on a team? Do I want to be solo? Do I want to be on a big team that goes and gets leads through lead gen? Do I want to be on a team that helps you learn how to get the business yourself? Do I want to be on a family team? There's
so much
every
to
single
it.
different type of team is different, and it's going to be like custom to what's your lifestyle, who are the clients that you want to work with, where do you live, like how do you access and solve problems, and how does your team leader teach how to access and solve problems, like, you know what I'm saying? So people don't know oftentimes what they're getting into, and they don't know what's what at the very
They have
beginning.
no idea.
Right.
And
so
they don't even know what's important, too,
Right.
like especially if you're new.
And so then, like, the one thing that they can look at is, like, dollars, right? So then people start
what's
to
my
make
split?
choices for splits, for cuts. And the other thing that they can point to immediately is, like, leads. This is how many leads I get.
Yeah.
But then the problem with a lot of that is a lot of the team leaders that are either going to have, like, crazy low caps or crazy low fees or crazy low splits are those the people that are going to be willing to give you a lot of time, a lot of training, a lot of opportunity.
Because it takes time and training.
Yeah, because going back to what I said earlier, it's not profitable to be running a team based on like very little money that you're getting. So imagine like you want to take somebody who gives you like a really big split, then they're probably not going to be dedicating a lot of time and training to you. So are you really going to become who you want to become at that team? No. For some people, that's going to work for them.
Yeah.
But it depends on what you want to do and where you're at in the process. You need somebody with a lot of like mentorship, team training, like then it's gonna cost. Everything is time or money.
Yeah, exactly. You do get what you pay for, you know?
Right.
And I mean, if you're somebody who's super experienced and you know what you're doing, I can see sometimes it works for the lower splits and things, but people that are learning or they want that support or they want to be competitive
Or
when
have
they're
a community.
Yeah, a community or even just like someone to call when you're going on a listing appointment.
And that right there is what most agents are lacking. Most agents lack someone that they can go to for help when
Stuff hits the fan.
stuff hits the fan.
Yeah, and that's when that's really
And then
when
they
you
call
need
you.
it. Yeah, yeah. And then I'm like, does your broker, like, are they not available? I'm not really allowed to negotiate for you, you know? But yeah, they do call for, I really get to see it all. I really get to see kind of, you know, what they go through. But
Well,
you
and
do
then-
a great
and then,
job.
Thank you. And then now we're in this era where like so many people have like a team leader, but often is that a person who has an immense amount of experience? Like oftentimes it really isn't in this day and age right now.
Right.
So yeah, I think if you're a newer agent, it's know what teams are what.
Yeah.
And know what you really need before you get into
Before
it.
you go on the
Yeah.
interview.
Start asking people who were on that team before and left. Start asking.
That's a good idea. I've actually never heard, why don't you call up somebody that left? That's such
Yeah.
good advice.
Why-
Why did you leave?
why did you
Yeah,
leave?
because everybody there is going to say good things.
you know? And people ask people who are there now and ask people who left, like what led you away? You know, what are you looking for? So, you know, that, and you're right, like grass isn't always greener. People, especially in our industry, we were talking about self-awareness. Sometimes they don't look at like what they're not doing to.
Well, sometimes they don't reach out too. I'll see them at a brokerage where the leader is very involved and they complain like, oh, I'm not getting this guidance. I'm like, well, did you go to the training? Did you adopt anything that they showed
when's the
you?
last time you went to
Where's
the
your
office?
accountability meetings afterwards? Like I could tell
Thank
you.
God for you.
No.
that you are upfront with people like that,
because it doesn't make sense. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, type of thing, you know. And so I can tell, like especially at this point in my career too, the people I work with, I want I like to implementers. That's what you want. It's like I don't care if you don't know it, but when we find something that is going to work for you, and you agree it's going to work for you, and then you don't do it, that's what I'm like. What was the point of that meeting?
Right. What are we doing? Are we
wasted
talking.
my time. There's this thing with health issues. You say you only start your day off with a certain amount of spoons.
Yes.
And then once you give those away, you don't have any more left. And so sometimes I'll be like, that took too many spoons for you not to do anything with it. Like, that was too many spoons. Oh, man. Well, okay. I know,
so
gosh,
much.
we've been going for so long. I have so much fun talking to you.
oh my
I'm going to
gosh.
definitely have you back again. I think that what you shared about just what it's like from that perspective of coming to another country and having to navigate all that, and then getting into real estate and just the opportunities that you've had in your life, you're giving those back to others. And like, it's just a cycle. I consider you a connector. That's kind of what you are.
Definitely
Like, for
my
sure. It's
number
like
one goal.
you'll connect everybody. So that's awesome. Anything you want to talk about today? Do you have any events coming up or anything that you want to invite anybody to?
So right now I'm preparing for the mayor of San Diego, Mayor Todd Gloria. He is doing the Neighborhood Homes for All initiative right now.
Wow.
So what he's trying to do is he's trying to create affordable housing that homeowners can actually purchase here in San Diego, but not just create something that they love and they want to set roots down and enjoy. So for all of spring of 2026, he's actually looking to create focus groups. So there are ways that you can get involved and actually say what kind of affordable housing is needed in San Diego.
Wow.
So I would really recommend that people get involved with that. People who are homeowners, who want to be homeowners and just think it's out of reach.
Oh, I love that.
That is definitely something. On Tuesday, I'm really excited because ARIA is holding a press conference. We just did this big study with the Urban Institute, and it's going to talk about AA and HPI communities and the numbers and all of the data behind why there's a disparity in home ownership. And we're going to release information on generational wealth and why it is the way it is. So I'm really excited. Tuesday, that's going to be at
That's
UCSD.
going to be so cool.
Yeah.
You got to film it. So
yes.
if anybody can't come. So if anybody wants to get involved in any of those focus groups or anything, is there how would they do that? Just reach out to you?
Yes, you could actually search Neighborhood Homes for All.
Okay. Neighborhood Homes for All.
Yes, and I have the link too. I'll post it in my Instagram.
That's
but
great.
yeah, just follow me and enjoy the insanity.
Enjoy the wild ride on her Instagram page. It's so much fun. You will see lots of sparkles. It's amazing. But you know your stuff. It's so funny. You show up at pink sparkles and then you open your mouth and you drop the most business bombs, and it's so crazy. It's so amazing.
It's so funny. You're like, that girl doesn't know anything for sure, and you're like,
I'm like, what? These sparkly little fairies bouncing around, and she just schooled everybody in the room. There's not a single person that's sitting there I know more than her about the subject. It's really cool.
Favorite thing to do.
But you do it in a nice way. You just you know what you're talking about.
I appreciate it.
I love you. You got to keep coming back.
Yes.
More and more and more. Thank you for, supporting me and coming on. It's great. I love you.
Thank you. I love you.
All right, guys. As usual, I could not do this without thanking the people who make this possible. I want to thank TPS. They're an incredible sponsor. They have a special going, $89. You can give them a try. I don't know why you wouldn't. And thanks so much for joining, guys. We'll see you next time.